soccer fans, AFC and Arbor is live and on the air. soccer fans, AFC Ann Arbor is live here at Hallway Field for the season opener for the USLW women's team here, and they are hosting Union FC Macomb. As we are very appreciative of everyone watching the season opener. We do want to thank Bank of America, the title sponsor of AFC Ann Arbor. Thank you for all they do for the local community and this club. Let's talk a little bit about, we have a few other sponsors here that if you come to the pitch, you can see it on the gate there. We do have Fly Through IO, Units Moving and Storage, BTB, Big Ten Burrito, Rossi Building Consultants, the Battier Take Charge Foundation, the Ann Arbor District Library, Wickfield Properties, Washtenaw Promise, Megan Mazarek, Reinhardt Realtor, Lewis Jewelers, Polestar Detroit, AnnArbor.org, A20, Bank of Ann Arbor, AATA or The Ride, Bodman Attorneys and Counselors, Mirlo Real Estate, Underground Printing, My Future Fund, and Tree Town Sound on 107.1. I want to thank all those wonderful sponsors. You come on down. I believe Washtenaw Dairy's out here as well with the special flavors for this season for AFC Ann Arbor. As everyone's getting ready, we do have our starters that we can talk about a little bit as everyone's getting warmed up and ready to go here at Hallway Field. By the way, one note, let's talk about the next game. As we take a look, tomorrow's game is going to be a slightly different location, as it's going to be at Saline High School. So the men kick off things tomorrow over at Saline High School. That's a 7 p.m. game as well. Lansing City football comes in, and again, please go to Saline for that game, because the Pioneer men's lacrosse team will have their senior night here. Not that that wouldn't be great to go to as well, but if you're checking out and want to see the AFC Ann Arbor men's team, the USL2 team, take yourself over to Saline tomorrow. Let's take a look at the next 5 games upcoming for this women's squad here as they go on the road next. They open here at home versus Union FC Macomb. And then they are on the road on May 14th. That's a Wednesday over at Midwest United FC. That is a 5 o'clock game because both the AFC Ann Arbor men's and women's team are going out and playing over at Midwest United. So if you want to check out both of those, you can make it out on the 14th. The women play at 5 o'clock. The men are scheduled to play sometime around 7 o'clock. On May 17th, that's a Saturday here at Hallway Field. That will be Detroit City FC coming into town. That is a 7 p.m. game. Then a week later on May 24th, Midwest United will come here again at Hallway Field. That is a 7 p.m. game. May 31st, the USLW team will be down at Toledo Villa FC. That is a 7:15 game. And then on June 11th, that's a Wednesday, Kalamazoo FC comes into town. That is a 7 p.m. game here at Hallway Field. So we want to check out those next upcoming games. Thank you very, very much. We can talk a little bit about our starters coming up. So let's start off from Union Macomb FC. The starters are Jenna Blackburn, Riley Fetty. Also starting is Shannon McCarthy and Sierra Masaccio. It is Kylie Shannon starting, Francisca Mudd starting, Isabella B-Rod, Tyra Chu, Rachel Wright, Elizabeth Matthews, and Samantha Curtis. That are your starters for Union FC Macomb. And then on the other side for AFC Ann Arbor, it is Preeb, who's going to be starting in net. Then other starters are Emily Eitzman, Cora Conley, Sophia Diambre. It is going to be Vivian Permona. Then Avery Nam, Allie Molina, Chloe Brand, Macy, and then that would be Mally Malecki, So I got that. And then it's Shakira O'Malley and Sophia Bauman are out there. So that's going to be what we have out there for the starters for AFC Ann Arbor. So yeah, that'd be Malecki, so I'll fix that. As we're getting warmed up, AFC Ann Arbor was out. Looks like they've gone back into the locker room as Macomb Union FC Macomb out as they're getting warmed up and ready to go. We'll play a little bit more music, and then we'll be right back as we'll turn it over to the public address announcer for the introductions as both teams will walk out. You're watching AFC Ann Arbor, this USLW match between AFC Ann Arbor and Union FC Macomb. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we are live here at Hallway Field, where it is AFC Ann Arbor, the women's squad taking on Union FC Macomb, and we are about to get underway out here as the team's getting ready to get lined up for the walkout. Again, tomorrow's game, the men's game, will be at 7 o'clock versus Lansing City, but that will be at Saline. So make sure you don't show up to Hallway Field unless you're looking to watch the Pioneer Men's Senior Celebration. Make sure you get over to Saline High School tomorrow. As pretty quickly here, we'll turn it over to our public address announcer. And we have the 000s up there. The officials are out getting ready. And we'll get going in just one moment. Again, both squads are getting lined up here. So your the sounds coming out there. Ann Arbor is in their gray kits. Is that gray or light blue? They have the Bank of Ann Arbor title sponsor on the front. And then Union FC Macomb is in a darker black kit with the light gray on the front, as now we'll have the walkout.
Here are today's starters for Union FC Macomb. Number 3, Jenna Blackburn. Number 6, Riley Fetty. Number 8, Shannon McCarthy. Number 12, Sierra Musacchio. Number 15, Haley Shannon. Number 16, Francesca Mudd. Number 18, Isabella Berod. Number 19, Tyler Chu. Number 23, Rachel Wright. Number 77, Elizabeth Matthews. Number 19, Samantha Curtis. Your coaches for Union FC Macomb are David Robertson, Jeremy Harkins, Rajko Yavanovich, and Graphic Chatterjee. Now, let's meet the starting 11 for your Mighty Oaks. Number 3, Emily Eichmann. Number 4, Cora Conley. Number 5, Sophia Diambra. Number 7, Vivian Ramone. Number 11, Avery Na. Number 13, Ali Molina. Number 16, Chloe Brand. Number 17, Macy Malecki. Number 22, Shakira O'Malley. Number 23, Sophia Bauman. And in goal, number 1, Madison Breeze. Your team coaches for the Mighty Oaks are Phil Lyle Allman and Leah School. Your head coach is Victor Monte.
As we're getting ready to go here at Hallway Field, where starting 11 for AFC Ann Arbor is headed over towards the bench. And then Macomb going over to the right. Macomb only has 3 substitutes on the bench. Ann Arbor with 6 substitutes. So deeper bench for Ann Arbor than it is for Macomb. It's the officials getting the ball set right at the center circle, and we're about to get underway here. We want to thank you for watching wherever you are at, whichever team you're cheering for. We are very grateful for your support of these wonderful, wonderful teams. My replay monitor decided to give up, but that's okay. We don't necessarily need it. So so long as everything's going out on the broadcast, that's all that matters. I'll have to play with that later. So have to have great faith in our director, Mike Butler, who will put things out there as both squads across the way getting ready to go again. AFC Ann Arbor in those gray kits with the dark numbers on the back. The title sponsor, Bank of America, on the front. They have the gray shorts, the gray socks, little light and dark gray. And then again, as I said, Macomb with those black kits, numbers in white on the back, black pants and black socks as they're getting ready to go. Little lighter gray on the front there. I don't see, I think, a little Union FC Macomb logo up on the upper left-hand corner there. As good crowd here. I know it's early spring game time, temperature 63 degrees here in Ann Arbor. It is a cloudless sky. We have actually a very light moon up to the right of the light poles up there. But it is a gorgeous day for some soccer here. The hooligans are making themselves heard. As the starting 11 for Macomb come out. Ann Arbor going from left to right here in this, the opening half. Ann Arbor getting set to go. Right in the center circle. Macomb ready to get things kicked off. And there we are. Mud has it, Mud. Coming up, she fires it back onto the defensive side. Macomb kicking it ahead. That moved over to Riley Fetty. Now sent back just outside the 18. Macomb moves it over. And brought down onto the near wing, trying to feed it ahead. That pulled and grabbed. Coming ahead with it is Slazinski. That ball right back into the 18 there. As that's Krentowski, who fires it all the way down, right over midfield. Sent ahead, Ann Arbor has it in along the far sideline. Ball sent back over to the defensive side. Ann Arbor coming up the near wing. Racing ahead right over midfield. That's brought up by Brand. Brand trying to move it and got knocked down, trying to go the other direction. Picked up back over there by Right. Trying to move it to midfield. Big collision there, but Blackburn pulls it down the near touchline. Blackburn has that, trying to knock it away back over there. Eitzman. That's going to be a throw in over there by Right. Gets it in over to Slazinski. Slazinski trying to move it forward up the near wing. That fired ahead for Right. Makes it right on the near touchline in the attacking third. Flips that over to Matthews. Matthews back to Right. Trying to work her way off the touchline. Back over to Matthews. Matthews trying to get across just outside the 18. That's sent out the near touchline by Eitzman. Again, that's going to be a throw in by Wright. That ball in the far corner, trying to send it ahead. Now that tipped right on the near touchline. Matthews has it. Matthews sends it, trying to get it back. Ann Arbor trying to steal it away. That in the near corner, fired all the way down into the middle third. That'll go right down and out the near touchline. That'll be a throw in by McCarthy. McCarthy quickly gets it all the way across onto the center of the pitch. Brought ahead over there. I believe that was Shannon with it. Back over, McCarthy fires it all the way across, up the far wing. Here comes Macomb. That's sent ahead by Shannon, right up the middle of the pitch, right at center. Matthews with it. Matthews all the way onto the near wing. And brought ahead by Chu. Now sends it back to her defensive pairing. Fired all the way across by McCarthy. Gathered up, coming down the far wing. Launched all the way ahead. That plucked back up over by Preeb. Preeb will have it in the 18, rolling it in along the far wing. Here comes AFC Ann Arbor into the middle third. That fired ahead. Trying to work her way around. Good battle back over there. Macomb steals it away. Right at midfield. That fired over to Matthews. Matthews up the center of the pitch. Matthews arcs it ahead, trying to get it over into the far corner. Knocked away as that's fired up high by Blackburn. That'll go out, and that'll result in a goal kick. Preeb will have it set. Has it set right at the 6. We are in the 4th minute here at Hallway Field. And Arbor brings it up the far wing. And sent across. Lifted all the way down, trying to pop it up and play it over was Permonen. That ball right at the center, trying to fire it ahead over there was Malecki. All knocked down. Now rifled forward by Conley. Picked up, racing over to get it is Nam. That ball lifted the other direction by Macomb. Popped up back over there by Bowman. Now over on the far touchline. Ann Arbor trying to get things set. Sent back by Nam. Down the far touchline. Knocked over. Eitzman trying to get to it. Fired all the way back. That headed. Picked up by the Ann Arbor defense and out. The near touchline. Trying to get it over. I believe that was to Molina and just out of her reach. And ball right on the near touchline. Sent in by Wright. Now Matthews gets it over on center, coming across. Riley Fett puts it onto the far wing, back towards midfield. Now controlled in the middle third. Brought ahead by Chu. Here comes Macomb. Chu trying to make it over midfield. A battle there. Malecki with the challenge. Now racing down the far wing. Here comes Mudd. And knocked away. Controlled right back to the defensive pairing for Macomb. Fired all the way across by McCarthy. Now launched all the way down the pitch, trying to get it over to Blackburn. Blackburn up the far wing. Blackburn in the attacking third. That plucked up by Preeb in the 18. Preeb has it. Preeb gets it over onto the near wing. Ann Arbor's defense all the way across the way. Moved ahead. Coming ahead with it is Nam. Down the far touchline. Sent back and all the way across. Over to Brand. Brand on the near wing. Brand brings it up the near side of the pitch. Brand works her way into the attacking third. Brand. And tipped away. Controlled by Macomb. Macomb sends it back. Chu gets it back up the near touchline. Chu feeds it right back towards the center of the pitch as McCarthy has it. McCarthy rolls it onto the far wing. Sent ahead to Matthews. Matthews back over to McCarthy. McCarthy onto the near wing. Over to Chu. Chu brings up the near side of the pitch into the middle third. Chu sends it to Matthews. Matthews trying to feed it ahead. That ball back. Controlled by McCarthy. McCarthy moves it over. Brought ahead there by Shannon. Shannon fires it to Matthews at the center of the pitch. Matthews trying to fire it down the far wing. Racing over, trying to get to it. That will go out. That is going to be a throw-in for Macomb as B-Rod has it. Throw in by Macomb. That ball over. Played down, trying to bring it ahead is Bowman. Ball back. B-Rod has it. B-Rod fires it all the way back over. Gathered up back over there by Shannon. Shannon over to McCarthy. McCarthy brings it up the center of the pitch. McCarthy trying to make it over midfield. Right over to Chu. Chu up the near touchline. Fired ahead. Knocked down by Ann Arbor. Now trying to turn on it there is Conley. Conley fires it to midfield. Gathered up. Here comes Ann Arbor racing down. That just gets past him. Over to get it is Shannon. Picked up back. Sent by McCarthy. McCarthy gets it back just outside of the 18. McCarthy. All the way across onto the far wing to Shannon. Shannon on that far touchline. Shannon feeds it back. Now the ball over to Chu. Chu Back to McCarthy. McCarthy in her defensive third. All the way over to Shannon on the far wing. Shannon into the middle third. Shannon arcs it ahead. That ball played down. Blackburn trying to get to it. Knocked the other direction. Matthews with it. Matthews turns on it right over midfield. Matthews trying to avoid pressure. Now over Promonin trying to put pressure on Chu. That ball back to McCarthy. McCarthy calling out signals. We are in the 9th minute here. Scoreless from Hallway Field. Shannon on that far wing. Back to McCarthy. Centered up in the defensive third. Ahead to Matthews. Matthews up the center of the pitch. Matthews. And right over midfield. Trying to send it down onto the near wing. Chu trying to get to a battle there. That ball sent back. Good battle by Conley to try and knock that away. But the ball comes right back to McCarthy. McCarthy over on the far wing. Here comes Shannon. Shannon up the far touchline. Shannon working out there against Malecki. That ball all the way down and out the end line. And it's going to result in a goal kick for Ann Arbor. So we are in the 10th minute here. Hallway Field, ball set, ready to kick it away. We do want to thank a number of sponsors, flythrough.io, Units Moving and Storage, BTB or Big Ten Burrito, Rossi Building Consultants, and the Batty 8 Take Charge Foundation. That ball right at midfield, trying to fire it ahead. Back over there is right. Centered up, moving it ahead is Blackburn, racing over, trying to get to it is right, just outside the 18, right. Good job knocking that away back over there. As that was a good challenge by Brand. That's going to turn into a corner. As over to take the corner is McCarthy for Macomb. So McCarthy gets set up for this, ready to go for this set piece. McCarthy raises her right hand. Puts it up that high, over, headed up high in the 18, and that goes off the crossbar of the field goal post. Out the end line, that will be Ann Arbor's ball as we head into the 11th minute, scoreless here from Hallway Field. That ball quickly over onto the far wing, moved ahead. Gathered up back over there by Nam. Nam trying to bring it up the far touchline, out. Big challenge there for Macomb, but out off of Macomb, out the far touchline. Macomb brings it up the far wing. Trying to race ahead with it is Curtis. Curtis feeds it down the far wing, racing over. Blackburn in the corner. Blackburn trying to get away. Now Matthews puts it right out in front. Curtis with a shot and a beautiful knockdown, and that is going to turn into a corner. Good job by Preeb to stay in front of it. That went off of the crossbar. And that is going to be McCarthy again for this set piece, this time from the far side. McCarthy, right hand up, arcs it across. That ball headed up by Matthews, played down. Over on the edge of the 18, blasted ahead by Ann Arbor, back into the middle third. Here comes Ann Arbor down the near touchline. That's stolen away back there by B-Rod. B-Rod moves it back over to Chu. Chu moved over, brought ahead, down the near pitch, down the near side of the pitch. That deflected. Here comes right, trying to bring it ahead. Trying to knock that away back there is Permonen. That ball deflects and out the end line. That is going to be a goal kick for Ann Arbor. Here in the 13th minute, we are still scoreless between these two squads. Preeb moves it over across the way. Ann Arbor brings it ahead as that moving ahead was Molina. Molina hits it back on that far touchline. All the way across, picking up his Conley. Conley arcs it over midfield, racing ahead, trying to get to it is Permonen. Permonen on the edge of the 18, but that pulled away by Chu, and Chu sends the attack the other direction. Matthews, right on the near touchline. Matthews Brings it ahead over midfield. Matthews calling out signals, trying to feed it. Racing back, trying to make sure she's in the way. Back there is Bowman. So Bauman, has it. Fired all the way ahead. Macomb right on this near touchline. Matthews feeds it back over. Now Chu, just shy of midfield. Chu passes it over to Matthews. Matthews heads towards the center of the pitch. Ball controlled by Curtis. Curtis back over to Matthews. Matthews trying to feed it. Inslee attacking third. Over to Curtis. Curtis spinning with it. Curtis trying to feed it. Inslee 18. Good job to knock that away by Brand. Ball sent right onto the near wing. Popped up high, trying to keep it away from right. That ball loose, and that plucked up by Preeb. Preeb quickly over to Molina. Molina coming up the far side of the pitch. Molina trying to move it into the middle third. That knocked away from Nam. That is going to be a free kick for Ann Arbor. Here in the 15th minute from Hallway Field, scoreless so far. Opening game for both of these squads of the season. Arced all the way down onto the near wing. Racing over trying to get to it was Promonin. Ball brought ahead, chipped away as that was Bauman trying to get it back. Bauman moves it onto the far touchline. Arced all the way ahead, back over there by Brand. Ball out the far touchline. Controlled. Down, trying to spin on it is Mud. Mud for Macomb. That'll go into touch, out the far touchline. All in, controlling it. Mud. Mud trying to bring it up the far side of the pitch. Now Ann Arbor with it. Trying to rocket blast it through. Played down, is trying to get it across was Law. All control back over to Riley Fetty. Riley Fetty sends it all the way back, top of the 18. Over to McCarthy. McCarthy quickly makes her way up the near side of the pitch. McCarthy stops in her own defensive third. Trying to move it. Now racing ahead, Riley Fetty. It's all the way down into the attacking third. Here comes Macomb trying to feed it ahead. Over to Blackburn, knocked down. Moved over onto the far wing, Ann Arbor. Back over to Molina. Molina brings it ahead. Molina feeds it back over. All the way onto the near wing to O'Malley. O'Malley right to center of the pitch over to Nam. Nam on the far touchline. Ann Arbor trying to make it around. Mud back there. Fed ahead. Here comes Malecki. Malecki back over to Molina. Molina all the way across to O'Malley. O'Malley up the near side of the pitch. O'Malley. And knocked down and out the near touchline. That'll stay. Ann Arbor ball here in the 17th minute. 0-0 is our score. Throw in play down. Now trying to knock it ahead for Ann Arbor. Played back. That was Brand trying to play it back. Moved all the way over. Here comes Molina. Molina right on the far touchline. Trying to race ahead over there was Nam. Ball out the far touchline. And Macomb sends it in. Shannon. The battle back over there by Malecki. Shannon with the throw in. Ahead by Riley Fetty. Now play back, racing ahead with it. Here comes Bowman. Bowman. Played back, that fired in, knocked down, and the other direction. Good blast in the 18 by Ann Arbor. Here comes Conley. Conley trying to get a shot away. And all the way back to Malecki. Malecki moves it down onto the far wing, trying to get it over to Law. That goes out the far touchline. Quick throw in by Macomb, battling over there. Riley Fetty trying to send it back. That blasted ahead by Riley Fetty all the way down. Back over to Preeb. Lifts it over to Brand. Brand back to Preeb. Preeb just outside the 18. Launched ahead, trying to move it ahead to Bauman. Bauman trying to make her way past. Malecki trying to get to that. She was dispossessed. Now racing the other direction. Here comes Mud. Knocked away by Ann Arbor. Good job by the Ann Arbor defense. Ahead over to Bauman. As that pulled away. Now fired all the way back over by McCarthy. McCarthy gets it back. McCarthy. Up the near wing. McCarthy stops. Moves it back. Now feeds it over to Shannon. Shannon on the far side of the pitch. Back to McCarthy, centered up in her own defensive third. McCarthy brings it up the pitch. McCarthy over to Matthews. Back to McCarthy. McCarthy back to Matthews on the near wing. Matthews now heads towards the center of the pitch. Being marked back over there by Permonen. That ball right at midfield. Now sent back over to McCarthy. McCarthy over to Chu on the near touchline. Chu trying to move it ahead on a give and go. Chu into the attacking third. That chipped away out the near touchline. Good job by Nam to stop that rush by Macomb here in the 20th minute from Hallway Field, right with the throw-in. Trying to race ahead with it, coming ahead. B-Rod into the far corner. That arced over, headed, and that will go up high and out. Just a touch high. Ann Arbor with the goal kick. Preeb has it set. Quickly over to Molina. Molina brings it ahead. Molina. Over. Nam trying to get it back. Molina moves it over. That's sent back over onto the near wing. We do want to thank additional sponsors, the Ann Arbor District Library, Wickfield Property, Washtenaw Promise, Megan Mazurek of Reinhardt Realtors, Lewis Jewelers, and Polestar Detroit. Ball on the far touchline, trying to get around Curtis there. Sent back, arced ahead, down onto the near wing, headed onto the near touchline, trying to move it back over to Brand. Chips that over to Conley. Conley trying to race ahead with it. That dispossessed by Matthews, knocks it over. Now here comes Macomb up the center of the pitch. Grabbing it is Mud. That ball on the near touchline, trying to feed it over. There's a whistle. Macomb will kick it away from Pioneer side of the middle third. Matthews with it there. Matthews. Ball all the way over onto the far wing. Shannon with it there. Shannon trying to move it, that up the far touchline. Curtis trying to pull it ahead. Curtis looking for a cross. And knocked away by O'Malley. O'Malley gets it over to Molina. Now Bauman all the way into the middle third. Sent back onto the near wing. Launched all the way across by Brand. Intercepted, headed the other direction. Here comes B-Rod. B-Rod racing down the far touchline. Trying to move it over. That's sent right back over by O'Malley. Now over, trying to rocket it ahead is Mud. That will go out the end line. Goal kick for Ann Arbor here in the 23rd minute from Hallway Field. Still a scoreless match between these two. Preeb ready to send this ball away. Ball arched all the way down the field, played down, trying to move over to get it is Conley. That ball brought ahead. Here comes Blackburn. Blackburn and chipped back away. Ann Arbor trying to move it down onto the near touch line, trying to feed ahead. Big battle back there. Now that's sent all the way back by Diambra. Ball down on the far wing. Ann Arbor trying to move it ahead. Racing ahead with it is Malecki. Now Molina gets the ball over. Gathered up. Sent across trying to get away from Matthews as that's Conley trying to move it ahead. Now sent all the way down onto the far touchline. Racing down with it into the far corner. Ann Arbor trying to get a shot away that knocked and out the far touchline by B-Rod. So it's going to be Diambra with the throw-in on the far touchline. Eitzman back over to Diambra. Diambra wafts it all the way across that ball. Back over. Grabbed by Brand. Brand gets it centered up. Knocked away. Here comes Macomb as they volley it all the way back towards midfield. Knocked back by Molina. Played down. Trying to get it away from Matthews. Conley trying to dig that away. Ball back over. Now McCarthy has it. McCarthy all the way over to Shannon. Shannon back over to McCarthy. Here in the 25th minute, Chu trying to move it over. Chu back to McCarthy. McCarthy up the center of the pitch. McCarthy over to Shannon. Over to Mark Hurris. Malecki. Shannon back to McCarthy. Now over to Chu on the near wing. Chu brings it up the near touchline, launches it ahead, trying to get it ahead to right. Coming down the near touchline, trying to get across. Right, trying to feed it. Good defense back there by Ann Arbor. Played down over there by B-Rod. That ball knocked away. Picking up, heading the other direction is Bauman. Bauman all the way across, that lifted ahead. Coming ahead with it, Malecki. Now Macomb has it. McCarthy moves that ahead. Sent all the way across by Riley Fetty. Back to Riley Fetty. Now Shannon back to McCarthy in her own defensive third. McCarthy heads up the center of the pitch. McCarthy moves that as here comes Riley Fetty. Riley Fetty places all the way down, and that will go out the far touchline. Diambra with the throw-in on the far touchline. Diambra. The throw-in battle there, back over. Volleyed ahead by Ann Arbor, headed right back. Controlled. Macomb trying to get to it. That sent right onto the far touchline. Trying to bring that ahead is Nam. Nam has it. Nam back over to Molina. Molina sends it over to Preeb. Preeb in the 18. Preeb over on the near wing to O'Malley. O'Malley brings it up the near wing. O'Malley arcs it ahead. Racing, here it comes, trying to get to it was Permonen. That sent out the near touchline. Ann Arbor with a throw-in in a good spot here in the attacking third. Brand with the quick throw and trying to get to Permonen. Permonen battling with Matthews. Also over there, Bauman was trying to knock that away from Matthews. Shannon gets her shoe tied. Now McCarthy over to Shannon here in the 27th minute at Hallway Field. Still scoreless into the middle third. McCarthy on the near touchline. That over to Chu. Chu back over to McCarthy. McCarthy just inside the middle third, all the way across to Shannon. Shannon brings it up the far touchline. Battling back over there is Malecki. Ball sent right back. Malecki trying to pull that away. Controlled by Macomb, as that will be Ann Arbor. So they'll get things started right over midfield. Played back over. Chipped ahead. Grabbed there by Conley. Conley moves it back. Now racing ahead with it. Volleyed ahead by Molina. Played down by Matthews. Matthews back over. McCarthy with it. McCarthy over to Shannon. And Arbor goes to pressure. So we are in the 29th minute here at Hallway Field. Here comes Matthews. Matthews over midfield. Matthews trying to weave it through traffic. That's stopped by O'Malley. O'Malley the other direction. Matthews trying to knock it away there. Sent all the way across over to Molina. Fired ahead by Diambra. Diambra puts it on the far touchline, trying to work her way past is Eitzman. That goes out the far touchline. Quick throw in for Macomb. Macomb trying to bring it ahead. Riley Fetty had it. Pulled away back over there by Malecki. Malecki sent all the way back. Preeb has it in the 18. Preeb over onto the far wing. Rocketed ahead by Molina. Tipped and just out. Trying to set that up over there was Nam and just out of the reach of Diambra. Matthews back over to Shannon. Shannon across to McCarthy. McCarthy centered up in the defensive third. Moves it to the middle third. Over to Chu. Chu has it on the near touchline. It's Permonen over to provide pressure. Back to McCarthy. McCarthy up the near side of the pitch. McCarthy trying to get it to midfield. That back over to Shannon. Shannon rolls it over onto the far touchline, trying to feed it ahead as that was blasted by Shannon and right out the far touchline. Lofted ahead by Macomb. Played down as that was headed up high by Riley Fetty. Preeb arcs it onto the far touchline, up the far side of the pitch. Here comes Ann Arbor. Knocked away, racing ahead with it. That shot went wide, just the far side of the woodwork. Last there by Riley Fetty. Ann Arbor with the goal kick here in the 31st minute. Still scoreless. The far side of the pitch, now sent back. I believe that's Molina. Moved, racing over. Rocketed down by Ann Arbor. Ball loose right into the middle. Trying to pull that away. Back over there is Bauman. Now McCarthy has it. McCarthy into the middle third. McCarthy over to Chu. Chu up the near touchline. Chipped right back towards middle. Trying to give and go with Wright. Wright sends it back towards midfield to Chu. Chu across. Trying to bring it ahead there is Riley Fetty. Riley Fetty all the way down. And blasted into the along the far wing. Now Ann Arbor sends it back over to Molina. Molina all the way across. Gathered up over here by Struble. Out the near touchline. That's going to be Brand with it on the near side, or on the near touchline. Brand lofts it ahead. Play down over there by Nam. Now trying to turn on it over there is Permonen. Permonen tipped away. Here comes Riley Fetty. Riley Fetty trying to get it over to Curtis. Curtis just on the edge of the attacking third. Curtis trying to get over onto the far wing. Good job by Conley as Conley. Big battle there. It's going to turn into a restart here. Restart for Macomb. Mudd with it. Mudd gets it back over to Riley Fetty. Riley Fetty trying to get past. Struble trying to knock it away. Back over to Curtis. Curtis feeds it. That chipped. And out the far touchline is Bauman was trying to get it up the pitch. Over to Chu on the near wing. Here comes Macomb. Chu trying to dribble past center. Walled off there. McCarthy moves it over Now ahead with it is Riley Fetty. Riley Fetty puts it on the far touchline, trying to move it ahead. Good job back over there to knock it away by Malecki. Battle for it on the far touchline. That's sent ahead as here comes Malecki. Rockets it. Played down. Now that fired ahead by Shannon. Molina gets it all the way across. Now tipped over by Brand. Controlled by Promonin. Promonin sends it back on the near wing. Rocketed ahead by O'Malley. O'Malley from one side of the pitch to the other. Here comes Ann Arbor trying to get to that back over there. Struble out the far touchline. Here in the 34th minute of play, still scoreless. Brought ahead by Riley Fetty. Riley Fetty poked away and out. The far touchline, D'Ambra. Oh, nope, that's going to be Macomb's ball. As Macomb quickly throws it in over to Riley Fetty. Riley Fetty trying to move it to the center of the pitch. All the way across to Chu. Chu back in the midfield area. Promonin trying to knock that away. Chu and trying to feed it top of the 18. Looking to turn on it back over there is Blackburn. Now all the way over into the near corner. Trying to stop it there is Wright. Wright looking for a cross. Now Macomb back to the top of the attacking third. Gets it back over to Chu. Chu arcs it across the pitch. Trying to get to it as that will end up offside, the call. That ball will come out where the offside was marked. Here in the 35th minute. Scoreless so far between these two squads. Preeb. It's everyone down the pitch. Volleys it all the way down. That ball on the far touchline, trying to keep it in. Big battle there as that's moved back over by Eitzman. Laid down. Nam. Back over to Molina. Molina. Back over to Preeb. Preeb in the 18. Moves it over on the near wing to O'Malley. O'Malley takes the bouncing ball. O'Malley rockets it down the near side of the pitch. Coming down on this near wing, here comes Bauman. Bauman into the near corner. Bauman looking for a cross. Bauman trying to chip it into the edge of the 18. That controlled. Chu gets it back over to Matthews. Matthews trying to move it up the pitch. And fed by Riley Fetty. Played down over there by Malecki. Malecki rolled right back onto the far side. Now gathered there by Preambra. Preambra. Back onto the far side of the pitch. Eitzman trying to move it back over. Chipped by Preambra, now taken away. Macomb trying to feed it ahead. Back trying to get to it is O'Malley. Stopped there. Played back. Now Preeb fires it ahead. That headed back in towards midfield. Played down there by Malecki. Malecki. Back over. Launched ahead. Here comes Ann Arbor trying to play it over to Nam. That intercepted. As headed the other direction is Mudd. Chipped and that high up by O'Malley, but a whistle. Here in the 37th minute, Macomb will have a kick on the Ann Arbor side of the middle third. That quickly just moved back over to McCarthy. McCarthy rockets it across. Here comes Shannon. Shannon up the far side of the pitch. Shannon. As they'll say that went out. I believe that's D'Ambra with the throw in. Ball down on the far touchline, sent by Shannon. And moved across over to Matthews. Matthews just over midfield. Promote. Trying to mark her. Now picked up. Here comes coming down the near wing. It's Chu. Chu rockets it. That plucked up in the 18 by Preeb. You can hear the fun youth here, all excited about this game. Malecki ahead. Malecki puts it down onto that far touchline. Back over. Chipped back over by Malecki. All the way across, then picked up by O'Malley. O'Malley back over to Malecki. Malecki, that dispossessed, knocked the other way. Racing ahead with it is Blackburn. Blackburn trying to knock that back. Over there was Molina. Blackburn on the edge, and that'll roll just to the near side of the woodwork. Here in the 39th minute. This is going to be a set piece. McCarthy ready to send this from the near corner. McCarthy raises her right hand. Arcs it across the 18. That headed up, back, all the way into the far corner. Shannon trying to feed it ahead. Played down by Ann Arbor. Moved over. Promonin trying to knock that away. Promonin feeds it all the way back ahead. Racing back to get to it. And back over to Shannon. Shannon gets it over to Chu. Chu over on the near side to McCarthy. McCarthy up the near side of the pitch. McCarthy now sends it back to Chu. Chu over on her own side of midfield. All the way across to Shannon. Shannon brings it up the far wing. Chipped back. Trying to pull that away back over there. Launched ahead by Ann Arbor. Trying to find Nam. Now Promonin fires it ahead as Macomb gets it all the way back over to Krentowski. Krentowski over on the near wing. Back, McCarthy. McCarthy gets it over to Chu. Chu just in front of the 18. Chu chips it back over to Krentowski. Krentowski back to Chu. Chu up the center of the pitch. Chu over to Matthews on the near wing. Matthews trying to race ahead. Gets that over to McCarthy. McCarthy moves it back. Now trying to race ahead with it. Back over there is Mudd. And ball right just over midfield. All the way down for right and out the near touchline. Here in the 41st minute at Hallway Field. Scoreless so far. We do want to thank more sponsors. That includes AnnArbor.org. 820 Bank of Ann Arbor, the title sponsor. AATA, The Ride. Bodman Attorneys and Counselors. Mirlo, Real Estate and Property Management. Underground Printing. My Future Fund. And the Treetown Sound on 107.1. That ball right at midfield. Quickly moved over. Now bringing ahead is Conley. Conley trying to arc it up. Promonin playing it back. Now Matthews chips it ahead for Macomb. Launched down by Mudd. Deflected back on the far side of the pitch. Moved back over to Shannon. Shannon gets it over to Krentowski. Krentowski all the way over to McCarthy. We are in the 42nd minute here at Hallway Field. McCarthy all the way across to Shannon. Shannon has it just inside the far touchline. Shannon trying to rock it ahead. That ball back over. McCarthy over to Matthews. Matthews pressure out there by Conley. Rolled all the way over to Chu. Chu trying to work against Promonin. Chu gets it back, racing down the near touchline, trying to move it over to right. That got popped away back there. Battling over there was Brand. Brand has it on the near touchline, trying to make sure it's away from right. Now that volleyed all the way down. Chu has it on the near touchline. That pulled back away by Conley. Conley all the way across. Grab there. Here comes Ann Arbor racing down onto the far wing. That fed ahead. Grabbing it is Eitzman. Eitzman back over. Trying to get across is Deambra. Deambra over to Eitzman. Eitzman into the 18. That knocked by Shannon all the way back. Now Mudd up the far side of the pitch. All the way across. Here comes Macomb. Trying to move it over to right. Right up the near wing. Gets it over to Curtis. Curtis coming up the center of the pitch, trying to get it back over to right, trying to take a shot and a grab and a save by Preeb. Preeb swallowing it up in the 18. Preeb comes out to the edge of the 18 here as we are about to enter now in the 44th minute. Sent across by Malecki. Down onto the far wing, trying to move it over to Nam. And brought ahead by Conley. Conley. And chip back over to right for Macomb. Right moves it over to Matthews. And picked up there. Here comes Mudd for Macomb. Good job by Diambra to defend that and knock it away. Back over to Molina. Molina gets it onto the far wing. That moved right back over by Eitzman. Eitzman back to Molina. Molina. It's all the way across. Now intercepted by Matthews. Matthews racing into the passing lane. Matthews sets up Blackburn. Blackburn, that got deflected and grabbed up by Preeb. Preeb has it in the 18. Preeb over onto the near wing for Brand. Brand moves it back over to O'Malley. O'Malley brings it up the near wing. O'Malley moving it ahead. Promonin trying to duck to let it go further. Now Matthews arcing it ahead. Played down, moved by Blackburn, intercepted. Moved all the way across by Molina. And ball sent over by Conley. Down onto the far touchline here in the 45th minute. Intercepted by Macomb. Played down, trying to work her way free as Conley. Conley up the far wing. Conley trying to fire it into the 18. Knocked down. Sent right back to Matthews for Macomb. Matthews all the way across. That ball on the far touchline. Now chipped back over. Shannon has it. Shannon all the way over to McCarthy. McCarthy over to Chu. Chu up the near touchline. Chu launches it, trying to get it over to Curtis. Preeb puts it up high. Back into the middle third. Promoted. Plays it down. Intercepted. Out. That is going to be Ann Arbor's ball. We are now in stoppage time at the end of the first half. Back over to O'Malley. O'Malley, that'll go up into, it's a ball for the Hooligans. Main Street Hooligans get that over to the ball boy. Launched all the way across, racing over to get it, controlled by Macomb. Did not see the amount of stoppage time we have here. Ball moved back over to Matthews. Matthews puts her right foot into it, trying to get it over to right. Right heads it. That lifted back up by O'Malley, played down by Matthews. Now racing over to get it is Malecki. Malecki gets it down onto the far wing, racing ahead with it. Knocked away back over there by Shannon. Ball controlled over to McCarthy. And that is the end of the first half. At the end of the first half, it is the score 0-0. Nothing decided in the first half. We'll go to the second half, where both of these squads will try and find their way past these wonderful keepers on both sides. We're going to step away and, well, let's first again thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors of AFC Ann Arbor. That includes Flythrough.io, Unit Moving and Storage, BTB or Big Tim Burrito, Rossi Building Consultants, the Battier Take Charge Foundation, Ann Arbor District Library, Wickfield Properties, Washtenaw Promise, Megan Mazurek, Reinhardt Realtor, Lewis Jewelers, Polestar Detroit, AnnArbor.org, A20, the title sponsor, Bank of Ann Arbor, AATA, The Ride, Bodman, Attorneys and Counselors, and then that is going to be Mirlo Real Estate, Underground Printing, My Future Fund, and Treetown Sound on 107.1. Let's play a little bit of music. We'll be back as you're watching AFC Ann Arbor. the teams are coming out of the locker room. And we are getting set for the second half. It is AFC and Arbor nil, Macomb Union FC Macomb nil. As the AFC and Arbor faithful cheering their team headed out onto the pitch. Again, Ann Arbor should be going from right to left here in this second half. We appreciate you joining us. Thank you to all the wonderful, amazing sponsors of AFC Ann Arbor. Please help support those who help support the team. That includes Flythrough.io, Units Moving and Storage, Big Ten Burrito, Rossi Building and Consultants, the Battier Take Charge Foundation, the Ann Arbor District Library, Wickfield Properties, Washtenaw Promise, Megan Mazarek, Reinhardt Realtor, Lewis Jewelers, Polestar Detroit, AnnArbor.org, 820 Bank of Ann Arbor, AATA The Ride, Bodman Attorneys and Counselors, Mirlo Real Estate, Underground Printing, My Future Fund, and Tree Town Sound on 107.1. As there is some fantastic smelling food here when you come on down and catch a game. They always have some really good food trucks, as there is the smell of something cooking that is just wafting up here, making my entire crew drool. You can also make sure you wear what the team wears. Check it out, and you can certainly buy these fantastic Diaza jerseys. Diaza kits, you can get them either at one of the games, or you can go out to AFCAnnArbor.com and purchase yourself a fantastic AFC Ann Arbor kit. The officials head out onto the center of the pitch. As again, the moon has risen high up above the light poles off to the right there. You can see it with the sun up. Fantastic view on a gorgeous day. Second half game time temperature is 60 degrees. We've lost about 3 degrees as the sun's starting to set. Folks are in their nice hoodies all bundled up. Or those folks in the press box with me dealing with the hot air that I spew all over the place. It is 0-0 between these two squads as we are about to get the second half underway. 45 minutes up on the clock. First game of the season for both of these squads as Macomb heads down to our left and Arbor heads down to the right. Preeb will get herself set to the right, and Krentoski gets herself set to the left, and we're ready to go. Ball set up in the center circle, and we're ready to get underway. Heitzman on the near side. That ball sent, bringing it ahead is Malecki. Malecki all the way down onto the far wing. That fed over by Conley. Picked up, fired, and that will go out into the visiting stands across the way. That'll be a quick throw in by Macomb. Trying to chip it ahead is Matthews. Now Ann Arbor sends it back over Molina. Onto the near wing, Molina. Trying to move it across. That tipped away as Law was trying to get to it. Now into the 18. That ball loose and good defense. That run sent right back into the 18. Fired all the way ahead, down by Molina. Back into the middle third. Racing over trying to get to it is Bauman. That ball set. Now here comes Macomb coming down the far wing as they move it over to Mudd. Mudd looking to get a shot back into the middle third. Brought ahead by Shannon. Shannon up the near wing. That ball loose, trying to get it across is Curtis. Chipped into the top of the 18. And sent all the way back into the middle third. Back trying to control it is McCarthy. McCarthy over onto the far wing. That brought ahead by Chu. Chu into the attacking third. Now right with that ball into the far corner. Chu has it, and it's out the end line. That'll be a goal kick for Ann Arbor here in the 47th minute. 0-0 is our score. Ball set as Preeb sends it over onto the near wing. And sent right back over. Heitzman trying to chase it down, back, and that will go out the near touchline. Macomb with the throw in. That ball played down by Riley Fetty. Now Curtis trying to send it all the way across. Knocked down. Good job. Racing over to get to it is Bauman. Trying to knock it away. Curtis with another cross. And chipped right back. Top of the attacking third for Macomb. Trying to knock that away. Back over there's Malecki. Comes all the way down the far wing. Here comes Chu. Puts it over to right. Trying to get across. Good job knocking it away back over onto that far wing. Good defense. Chipped ahead back over there by Conley. Played down on that far touchline. Stepped right back top of the attacking third. Macomb trying to move it all the way across from the far side to the near side. That back to Shannon. Up the near wing. Shannon gets it on to the near touchline over to B-Rod. Into the near corner. That goes out. That's going to stay. Macomb's ball is Diambre trying to knock that away. Ball controlled on the edge of the 18. Sent right back over to B-Rod. Sends it to the top of the attacking third. Back over to McCarthy. From the middle third. Moves it all the way over onto the far wing. Chu with it. Now Pramonin trying to mark her. The ball back over to Matthews. Trying to get around Conley. Trying to keep in front. That ball sent all the way across. Now gathered up by Shannon. Up the near wing. Shannon sends it into the near corner for B-Rod. All the way across, and that will go out. So that ended up on the wrong side of the goal line before going in front of the goal. Preeb has it set. Here in the 49th minute, still scoreless. Preeb looking down the pitch. Low line drive right to the edge of the attacking third for Macomb as they bring it around. Trying to get in front is Blackburn. Good defense back over there by O'Malley. That ball will go out. B-Rod with a throw in on the near touchline. B-Rod trying to get it overplayed down. That'll go out the end line as Diambra gets in front of that, but that will turn into a corner in the near corner. McCarthy to take this set piece. McCarthy has the ball ready. McCarthy raises her right hand, arcs it across the 18, headed. Now that fired up and out by Wright. Good job to head it up and over by Ann Arbor, and Wright trying to fire it in and just a little too much on it. Here in the 51st minute, still scoreless. Preeb has it set from the 6 as she tells everyone to go further down the pitch. Line drive down the near wing, and that'll go out. Throw in here by B-Rod. B-Rod gets it in as losing an edge is McCarthy. Trying to fire it ahead. Excuse me, that was Riley Fetty. And ball all the way back. Moving it over to Krentowski. Krentowski over to Chu. Chu bringing up the far wing for Macomb. Chu into the middle third. That ball knocked by Diambra back. Racing over trying to get to it is Malecki. Ball moved over. Now Eitzman trying to feed it across. That ball trying to get it back to Malecki. Controlled by McCarthy. McCarthy all the way over to Chu. Chu moving it over to the far wing. Pressure back there by Malecki. Sent right back over to Kentrosky. Now up the near wing, Shannon. Shannon feeds it right to midfield. Good job knocking that away. Beautiful job by Bauman. Bauman moves it over. That ball sent back to Molina. Molina launches it all the way down onto the far wing, racing over. Promonin trying to get to it. Promonin battling in the far corner. And pulled away by Macomb. Fired all the way ahead down on that far wing, trying to move it over to Mudd. Mudd gets it towards midfield, but that collected. Now over to O'Malley. O'Malley on the near wing for Ann Arbor. Back over to Preeb. Preeb sends it down the far wing. Headed, held in, back over on that far wing. Battle back over there by Brand. That went out. Controlled by Macomb. Here in the 53rd minute, scoreless so far. Macomb with the ball. That went out just in front of the Macomb bench. Into touch. Throw in from the touch line. Right trying to get to it. Molina fires it right back. That goes back out again. Out the far touch line. Throw in trying to get to it is Blackburn. Blackburn. That ball. Ann Arbor trying to feed it ahead. Here comes Bauman. Bauman trying to launch it. Bauman. Ball over onto the near wing. Eitzman. And ahead over to Malecki. Malecki stolen away. Headed the other direction by B-Rod. B-Rod. Right up the center of the pitch. B-Rod. O'Malley trying to knock that away. Now that launched the other direction back over there by Bauman. Matthews with it on the far side of the pitch. Matthews launched ahead, played down. Here comes Ann Arbor, moving it over to Conley. Conley gets it back. Now that's sent ahead by Hill. All the way out, and that will go almost out the end line. Well, moved over as Preeb saves it. Now Molina heading down the far side of the pitch. That ball over to Diambra. Diambra sends it down the near wing. Picked up. Excuse me, that's Molina over to Eitzman. Eitzman. Back. Send ahead over there. Forgive me, that's Hill and trying to keep it in. Good job to keep it in there, battling. Good job by Malecki. She gets a restart as that's tipped by Macomb coming down right at midfield. Now racing ahead with it is Curtis. Curtis trying to get back past the defense, put it in along the near wing. That over to Mudd. Mudd fires it, tipped away, and a great job to knock it away by Preeb. What a great diving way to bat it away. It turns into a corner. As over to take the corner so far has been McCarthy.
We would like to thank the Ann
That
Arbor
is McCarthy
YMCA
again.
for their support for this 2025 season.
McCarthy
Thank
set
you,
up,
Ann Arbor YMCA.
raises the right hand, up, across, then moved over, headed up by Ann Arbor, played down. Matthews has it. Now launched the other direction by Malecki. Here comes Promonin. Promonin up the far touchline. Promonin trying to come ahead with it. Promonin racing. She has a few players to her left. Promonin launches it ahead. Grab, racing in, but offside the call. Made that move just a touch early as Bauman trying to get ahead, and Promonin had to cut back towards the middle of the pitch, and that ended up with Bauman offsides at that point. Offside. Here in the 56th minute. Kentrosky gets that ball set. Macomb ready to send it away here in the 56th minute. Still scoreless in this game. Slid over by Mudd. McCarthy trying to move it. Over to Chu. Chu. Back over to McCarthy. McCarthy back in her own defensive third. Gets it over to Shannon up the near wing. Shannon. Eitzman over to challenge her. Shannon trying to feed it down. And sent ahead by Hill. Played down. Diambra trying to move it over, trying to get it over to Conley. That pulled back by Macomb. Chipped ahead and moved over by Riley Fetty. Down the far wing. Chu has it. Chu trying to chip it into the 18. Good job to head it out by Bauman. Played ahead. Here comes Pramonin. Pramonin trying to get away from a double team. Right challenges. And down on the far touchline, coming ahead with it. Here comes Macomb. As Molina trying to stay in the way. That shot went wide to the near side of the woodwork. That will be a goal kick for Ann Arbor. Here in the 57th minute, almost approaching the 58th minute. Preeb back, ready to send this down the pitch. Preeb. Line drive, bounces, played down by Riley Fetty. Now over, trying to bring ahead is B-Rod. Knocked down, over trying to get to it is Conley. Conley up the far wing, Conley. Big time battle back over there with Wright. Now McCarthy over to Shannon. Shannon up the near wing. Shannon over midfield. Shannon trying to fire it all the way down, racing over as good job to by O'Malley to make sure that went out and ended up as a goal kick.
Call Units Moving and Storage for your storage pod and moving needs. Visit unitstorage.com.
Moves it over across the way. Hill launches all the way down. Played down by Macomb. Popped up high. Trying to get to it is Curtis. That headed over. Now good job by Hill to try and get to it. Fired back. Chipped ahead. Trying to get to it is Eitzman. Played down over there by B-Rod. Gathered up in a good job there by Preeb. Here in the 59th minute. Ball over. Hill trying to feed it ahead. Now racing with it is Conley. Conley trying to move it over to Deambra. Deambra. That ball knocked away. This is going to turn into a free kick in a dangerous area. It's inside the attacking third. So a good opportunity for Macomb, as that's going to be Mudd who's going to get the ball set. Somewhere about 5-6 yards inside the attacking third. To place a menace here. In the 60th minute, no score so far, 0-0. Macomb trying to fix that. Ann Arbor would love to get this stopped and get a counter. Mudd puts it up, and that will go over the crossbar, through the field goal post, but out the end line, and that will be a goal kick for Ann Arbor. Preeb gets it set. Over on the near wing to Hill. Hill back to Preeb. Preeb trying to chip it over onto the far wing. Played down there. Molina trying to get to it. Back. Macomb trying to come ahead. Trying to poke that away is Law. Into the far corner. Molina fires it almost all the way to the containers back in the school district property back there. Here in the 61st minute. That was offside. So Ann Arbor to send it away. Preeb has it. Preeb arcs it down the pitch right at midfield. Played over. Down the near wing. Macomb trying to bring it ahead is Curtis. As Bauman trying to get to it. As bringing it ahead. B-Rod. B-Rod with the cross. As chipped, and good job to play it down by Ann Arbor. That was Sander. Excuse me, that was Brand with a good job stopping that.
We would like to thank the Bank of Ann Arbor
Out the
for
far
25
touchline.
years of continued support. The Bank of
Now
Ann Arbor
Molina
Bank.
plays it down. Molina launches it ahead. That headed back by Macomb. Down and out the far touchline. And should be a throw-in for Ann Arbor. It's over there, Malecki. Leave that back over for Brand. Brand with the throw in, trying to get it over to Malecki. That headed right towards midfield. Played back by Curtis. Curtis feeds it over to Chu. Chu back over to McCarthy. McCarthy back into the middle third. Promonin trying to pull that away. Chu sends it all the way down, as that will be offside. The call is getting just past the defense at the time of that was sent forward. Mudd. Two goals waved off on offside calls versus Macomb. Ball down, headed back by Macomb. Down on the far wing, trying to get it over to Diambra. Diambra trying to play it ahead. Fired right back to midfield. Here comes Macomb countering the other direction. Down on the near wing, over to Mudd. Mudd trying to play it back up the pitch. Mudd launches it all the way across over to Chu. Chu has Promonin in front of her. Moves it over to Riley Fetty. Now Mudd comes across the top of the attacking third. Headed back by Ann Arbor. Matthews heads it the other direction. Now launch back into the middle third. All the way back, trying to get to it is Malecki. McCarthy up the far wing. McCarthy right over midfield. Matthews with it. Matthews, that play down, knocked away by Ann Arbor. Over, sending it ahead is Conley. Here comes Ann Arbor. Played ahead, and that grabbed, moved by Macomb and fired down over to Mudd. Play back by Diambra, now racing ahead. Here comes Curtis. Curtis trying to get back past the Ann Arbor defense. Curtis, now O'Malley knocks it away, but the whistle. And that is going to be just outside the 18 and a yellow card. So that is going to be a yellow card to O'Malley. Ann Arbor lucky that ball was outside the 18, but not by much.
Yellow card on AFC Ann Arbor's number 22, Shakira O'Malley.
This is a definite spot of menace for this kick. Mudd back, trying to break this scoreless tie. Ann Arbor has a four-person wall in front. The official makes sure everyone gets set. Sorry, five-person wall by Ann Arbor. Hooligans trying to let themselves be heard. Mudd ready for this kick. And off the woodwork. Over onto the far wing. And that pulled. Thought went out the far touchline, but not. Controlled over by Ann Arbor. Molina trying to get to it. That will go out the end line. That'll be a goal kick for Ann Arbor here in the 65th minute. Trying to get it just inside that far post, and it ended up pinging off of the far post. All the way back towards midfield. Control by Shannon. Shannon over to McCarthy. McCarthy moves it ahead over to Riley Fetty. Riley Fetty. That ball loose. Eitzman blasts it all the way down towards midfield. Now trying to come away with it. That ball, Promonin trying to feed it ahead. Promonin ended up down. Now Malecki trying to pull that away. All the way over to Chu. Chu bringing it ahead for Macomb. Chu up the far touchline, headed back the other direction by Ann Arbor. Played down. Chu sends it across to Curtis. Now back over on the near wing. That brought ahead over there by B-Rod. B-Rod back to McCarthy. McCarthy up the near wing. McCarthy over to Shannon. Just inside the near touchline. Back over to McCarthy. McCarthy right over to center pitch, over to Matthews. Matthews trying to feed it ahead over to Riley Fetty. Riley Fetty over to Chu. Chu trying to slip it past the defense. That ball sent over, grabbed by Eitzman. Eitzman Gets it back over to Preeb. Preeb over to Eitzman on the near touchline. Eitzman chips it ahead. Eitzman trying to get past the defense. Eitzman moves it over. Played down. Trying to move it across is Diambre. Now that coming ahead over to Bauman. Bauman launches it. Picked up on the far touchline. Ann Arbor trying to get something going. That launched by Shannon all the way down onto the far wing. Working against Matthews. That played back over. Ann Arbor launches it. Chew with it on the far touchline. That out. That's out off of, oh, nope, there'll be a kick. Second, I thought that was out off of Ann Arbor. That'll be a kick here as we enter the 68th minute. Still scoreless between these two squads.
Substitution for AFC Ann Arbor. Number 5, Sophia Diambra is replaced by number 6, Isabel Struble.
Diambra being placed by Struble.
Number 3, Emily Eitzman is replaced by number 15, Laura Koch.
And Koch comes in for Eitzman. Macomb moves it on to the near wing. Shannon with it there. Shannon trying to feed it through traffic over to Curtis. Curtis. And tipped. Trying to knock that away was Malecki. Now up the near side of the pitch, Curtis moves it back over. That's sent around by Riley Fetty. All the way onto the far side of the pitch. Now that launched all the way back. Deep. Trying to knock it away, O'Malley. O'Malley will keep it from going out into the far corner. O'Malley, as that'll get blasted off of a Macomb player out the end line. That will be a throw-in on the far touchline. Ball in, trying to knock that away. Curtis was right there. That's sent back over. Matthews trying to pull that away, sent ahead by Ann Arbor. Now knocked back, coming the other direction. Malecki with it. Malecki all the way across. Here comes Ann Arbor. Bauman launching it ahead. Grabbed onto the near wing as here comes Koch. Koch launches it across. Selected, now back over. Curtis intercepts the pass. Curtis. That moved right back over, coming ahead with it. As there's Koch with it. Koch trying to get around the defense. Good dribble by Koch as she makes a nifty move. That back over to Conley. Conley all the way down onto that far touchline. So I'm going to say that went out the far touchline. That'll mean Macomb's ball here in the 70th minute. Scoreless so far, 0-0. That ball played down by Slazinski. That ball on the far touchline. Here comes Ann Arbor trying to make a move across. That launched over. Oh, just deflected back in along the near wing. Trying to get to it as that will go out. Valiant attempt trying to get to it by Struble. Throw in by Macomb. That ball played down, out again, out the near touchline. That's going to be Ann Arbor with the throw-in, as that's Koch with the throw-in. Koch on the near touchline. That ball back towards the middle third. Played down by Hill. Hill trying to make her way around Blackburn. Here comes the defense for Macomb. Down onto the near wing. Right on the near touchline is McCarthy. McCarthy sends it back to Shannon. Pressure coming. As again, Malecki trying to provide some pressure. Here comes McCarthy up the near touchline. Fed over to B-Rod. B-Rod back over to McCarthy. McCarthy with the cross. That headed back by Ann Arbor. Played down. Back over to Bauman. That ball trying to pull it away. Sent back. Chipped ahead by Ann Arbor. Played down by Malecki. Malecki trying to turn on him. Malecki moves it ahead. Now battle for it over onto the far wing as that was Permonen trying to get it ahead. Now Molina launches it all the way down back into the defensive third. Macomb starts their rush again. Down on the far wing, trying to pull that away is Conley. Ball deflected right towards midfield. Matthews trying to knock that away. That will go out. That'll be a throw-in by Macomb. Controlling the ball. Launched ahead by McCarthy. Here comes Ann Arbor. That ball knocked away by Shannon. Back, coming the other way. Malecki. Knocked away again by Shannon, getting in those passing lanes. Chip back. Here comes Macomb launching it. As good job by Preeb to put it up high. Headed back the other direction by B-Rod. Now volleyed right towards midfield. Ahead by Macomb, trying to get it going the other direction is there's Curtis. Curtis gets it over to Mudd. Mudd is dispossessed. Great job by Ann Arbor. Malecki trying to pull that away. That ball all the way over to B-Rod. B-Rod up the near side of the pitch. Now B-Rod down on the near touchline, feeds it across. And launched up by Molina. Chipped up high again. Played down and grabbed by Preeb. Preeb. Lots of courage sliding in the way and grabbing that as we are in the 73rd minute. That ball on the far touchline and out. That will be a quick throw in by Macomb. Scoreless so far between these two squads. Molina gets it back. That knocked right back, and that'll be a goal kick for Ann Arbor. Preeb will get it right at the 6 as we're in the 74th minute. We want to thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors of AFC Ann Arbor. That includes flythrough.io, Units Moving and Storage, BTB, Big Ten Burrito, Rossi Building and Consultants, the Battier Take Charge Foundation. That ball over, trying to knock it away, trying to feed it ahead. Back over there is Conley. Conley blasts it forward. Played down by McCarthy. McCarthy gets it over to Chu. Chu up the far sideline. Chu back over there racing, trying to knock that away is Brand. On the edge, Chu sending it across. Good job to knock that down. I believe that was Hill over there who got in the way. That went out and will be a goal kick by Ann Arbor. Preeb has that ball ready to send over. Preeb waiting for everyone to get set. Again, we want to thank the Ann Arbor District Library, Wickfield Properties, Washtenaw Promise, Megan Mazurek, Reinhardt Realtor, Lewis Jewelers, Polestar Detroit as that ball back over onto the near wing, AnnArbor.org. All the way back towards midfield, played down by Matthews. Stolen away, but a whistle, and that is going to be a kick. As Malecki tried to steal that away, and instead it turns into a kick for Macomb. Mudd just moves it back over to McCarthy. McCarthy onto the near wing for Shannon. Shannon trying to get around Koch. Back over to McCarthy in the middle third. McCarthy heads back to midfield. McCarthy right in the middle of the pitch. Moves it over to Chu. Chu trying to come down that far wing. Chu back to McCarthy at midfield. McCarthy now looks over to Shannon. Back over to Chu. McCarthy now launches it forward. That headed back there by Blackburn. Into the box. Knocked away. Trying to get to it. There's a cross right out in front. Is trying to pull it away as Hill had a piece of it still down there, and a whistle. 76th minute here at Hallway Field. 0-0 is the score. Macomb has had a lot of time inside the attacking third, but this Ann Arbor defense and Preeb has so far kept a couple of goose eggs up on the scoreboard.
Number 9, Ryan Fetty replaces number 18, Isabella B-Rod.
Ryan Fetty in for B-Rod for Macomb.
Madison Selensky replaces number 16,
Zelensky replaces Mudd as that goes out.
Field replaces number 1, Emily Contestant.
Ball in, trying to get to it back over there is Riley Fetty. Riley Fetty sends it. That will go out the near touchline. As the hooligans get the chant going there. Koch with the throw in on the near touchline. Koch gets it back. There's a good feedback over there from Bauman. Bauman all the way across. That up the far touchline. Launch trying to get to it to Pramonin. Pramonin down on the pitch. That ball into the far corner. Stopped there by Macomb as they feed it ahead to Matthews. Racing ahead. Good job to steal that away back over there by Malecki. Malecki trying to get across, but that pulled the other direction by Matthews. Matthews and Malecki in a dribbling battle back there. Malecki trying to knock it away. Matthews gets it back. Now Malecki looking for the cross. Malecki stops. Feeds it back, and that out the far touchline here in the 78th minute. That'll be a throw-in for Ann Arbor. Again, we want to thank the AnnArbor.org. A20. Ball headed by Macomb. Bank of Ann Arbor, the title sponsor. That'll be a throw-in by Ann Arbor. AATA, The Ride. Bodman, Attorney and Counselors. Mirror Law, Real Estate. Underground Printing, My Future Fund, and Treetown Sound. Macomb trying to get to it. That ball pulled away. Battle for it is Matthews trying to knock it down. That ball fired ahead. Still trying to play it back over. There's Law. Now that ball launched high up into the 18. Played down, shot, and a goal! As it's a goal by AFC Ann Arbor. As I believe that was Koch who put it in. Just want to verify. Indeed, that was number 15, Koch, who put it in. And here's the replay. Is that sky high? Koch grabs it, fires it, and just inside the far pole. And despite a lot of pressure by Macomb, AFC Ann Arbor has the 1-0 lead here in the 79th minute. All set right at midfield as Slazinski ready to get things going for Macomb. Looks like a couple more substitutions coming in. See if we can get these substitutions in a moment. Ball over to Riley Fetty. Riley Fetty, that fired ahead. Matthews has it. Matthews hits it over to Shue. Back to Matthews. Matthews on the far side of the pitch. That ball over, trying to feed it ahead. Malecki with it. Malecki gets it onto the far touchline. That ball back, launched. Kicked ahead as here comes Koch. Koch looking for a brace, and that knocked away by Shannon. Oh, Koch got it back as a couple beautiful balls. Good service into the 18. And that turns into a set piece. First corner for Ann Arbor all game long. Ball set in the near corner. And raised. Ball across, knocked down, and in Ann Arbor with the goal. As that one, Ann Arbor 2-0. As that was a goal by number 10, Sander. As that ball arced across, you can see it, and right in. Number 18, or number 10, excuse me, Sander puts it in, and it's 2-0 Ann Arbor here in the 82nd minute.
scored by number 10, Lucia Paige Sander.
That ball coming down the far wing, launched ahead by Macomb, 2-0 Ann Arbor with the lead. 2 goals in short time in the 79th minute and the 81st minute. Ann Arbor with 2 big goals, one off of their first corner of the game that goes right back out the far touchline. Both Koch and Sander, substitutions who came in, and their energy immediately paying dividends for the Mighty Oak. That ball headed over midfield. Controlled by McCarthy. Back over to Kintoski. All the way across. Shannon with it. Shannon back over to McCarthy. Ticazelli comes in for Bauman.
Number 7, Vivian Promonin, was replaced by the goal scorer, Lucia Paige Sander. Number 10.
So Lucia Paige Sander came in for Promonin. That ball in again. Huge substitution paying dividends right off the bat. It's Paige Sander. Had it, now cutting across. That will be a corner for Ann Arbor as they earn their second corner of the game here in the 83rd minute. 2-0 Ann Arbor. They'd love to keep this scoring blast going. They don't want to give Macomb any sort of momentum. Hand raised. That ball launched all the way across. And that will go out as it hit the crossbar. Went on the wrong side of the netting off the top and out the other side. That will be a quick goal kick. Chew. Back over to McCarthy. McCarthy. Up the center of the pitch. McCarthy. Now turning on it. Here comes. Racing ahead Macomb. Cutting towards the near side. In as that's fired across by Slazinski. Now across Curtis. Controlled. Here comes Ann Arbor as they launch it ahead. Racing with it. Here comes Struble. Struble moves it over onto the near wing. Here comes Malecki. Malecki. All the way down. Koch, who broke this scoreless game open. Koch surfaces it into the 18. There's a header that just goes wide to the near side of a near post. Rolled back out there by Kintoski. Shannon up the near touchline. Volleys it right over midfield. Trying to play that down. Battling back there. Slazinski trying to turn on it. That's sent right out the near touchline. Here in the 85th minute. Quick throw in down there by Curtis. Battle on the near touchline. As trying to send it away was Hill. That launched all the way back to midfield. Pressure back there by Malecki. Quickly ahead. Here comes Shannon. Shannon up the near side of the pitch. Trying to get it over to Curtis. Curtis looking for a cross. Curtis on the end line. Curtis launches it into the 18. Over, and that one too hard. That'll go all the way back. That'll hit the goal on the other side back behind. That will be a goal kick for Ann Arbor here in the 86th minute. (2-0) AFC Ann Arbor with the lead. Remember, next game is the men's season opener tomorrow versus Lansing City. That will be at Saline. Game time 7 p.m. But again, that's at Saline High School. That ball ahead, played down. Macomb trying to come ahead the far wing. That popped up high. Matthews trying to move it over. Chipped ahead. Now trying to make a move and move it across was Struble. Out the far touchline. That ball controlled. Back in the middle third. Moved back over to McCarthy. McCarthy over to Shannon on the near wing. Shannon. Back to McCarthy, centered up. McCarthy. All the way over to Chew. Chew. Comes up the far touchline. Chew. racing into the attacking third. Chu trying to get some room. She goes down on the pitch. That is going to turn into a kick here for Macomb and a yellow card. So yellow card to Ann Arbor. I believe that one's going to be to Sander. So Paige Sander picks up the yellow card here in the 87th minute. Again, a kick from the attacking third by Macomb. In a spot of menace, that put up high, knocked away, ball loose as Curtis had it, and diving on it is Preeb. Preeb punched it down, then while it was rattling around down there, Curtis couldn't get her foot on it, Preeb dove on it, and Preeb did an excellent job here in the 88th minute. 2-0 Ann Arbor trying to open the season with a win. Macomb looking for a big comeback. A little under 3 minutes in stoppage time as Curtis back over to Shannon. That ball off of Malecki. Coming down the far wing, trying to get to it is Conley. That ball will go out the far touchline. Throw in quickly by, definitely a sense of urgency by Macomb. Trying to get her way around, that ball loose. Now trying to feed it ahead, controlled back over there. Trying to bring it around by Selinski. That's still loose in the 18. There's a blast and a goal as Macomb answers back. I believe that was number 6 who put it in, as that would be Riley Fetty. Was trying to get that ball out that was deflected and in, so Riley Fetty makes it a 2-1 game here in the 89th minute. Ann Arbor with a 1-goal lead. Trying to close out this match. 1:45 and counting in regulation, then stoppage time. Malecki moves it back over onto the far wing as that's sent ahead by Ticcazelli. Ticcazelli all the way back towards midfield. Out the far touchline as that's going to be a free kick here for Ann Arbor as we are approaching the 90th minute. Ball launched all the way back. Macomb heads it back into midfield as Malecki moves it over onto that far wing, trying to get that back over, trying to set up Brand to move it across. We are now in the 90th minute. 45 seconds before stoppage time, 2-1. Ann Arbor with the lead as someone made a basket as that went right into the trash bin. And ball into the far corner and out the end line.
AFC Ann Arbor. Replacing number 13, Ali Molina, is number 8, Mela La.
La in for Molina. Here comes a cross for Ann Arbor. Just can't quite see the number over there. I think it might be Ticcazelli, but I can't tell. Up through the 18 back. Moved over by Koch. That'll come down onto the near wing and out the near touchline. So we're in stoppage time now.
There will be 4 minutes of stoppage time.
4 minutes of stoppage time here. Koch with it on the near touchline. Just inside the middle third. Koch lofts it back over that play down, trying to pop it up high over there is Paige Sander. Now headed back into the middle third, grabbing it is Conley. Conley puts it into the far corner. That ball rolls all the way into the far corner, and that will be held in. Back over to McCarthy. McCarthy back over to Chu. Back to McCarthy. McCarthy in the 18 as we are in 4 minutes of stoppage time. Ball back. McCarthy now launches it all the way towards midfield. Played down by Macomb. Lifted ahead. Koch has it. Koch trying to move it over. Now Conley trying to knock that away. That ball rolls all the way over. Gathered up back over there by Wright. Wright trying to feed it all the way down onto that far wing. As that ball out the end line, that'll be a goal kick by Preeb. Preeb over there trying to shield the ball, make sure that it went into a goal kick. Preeb in no huge hurry. She sends everyone up the pitch. Again, we're in stoppage time. It's 4 minutes of stoppage time. I did not start a stopwatch once we hit there. But Preeb puts her right foot into it. That lifted all the way down the pitch, headed up by Macomb and out the far touchline. That'll be a throw-in by Ann Arbor. Launched in. Malecki had it. That off of Chu out the far touchline. Right by Ann Arbor's bench. That'll be a throw-in. Again, 2-1. Ann Arbor with the lead. Headed down. Out off of Matthews. Again, a throw-in for Ann Arbor. Just inside the middle third, almost in the attacking third. Lofted all the way down into the far corner, trying to cut across the top of the 18. That ball loose. Over trying to get to it is Sander. Still battling Matthews trying to pull that away. That's sent all the way down the pitch and out the far touchline. Macomb with it. Again, we're 4 minutes of stoppage time. That ball up high. Headed by Macomb, knocked the other direction and off of Macomb. As that went off of Ryan Fetty. Quick throw in by Ann Arbor. Battle for the ball. Paige Sander moves it back. Trying to fire it ahead back over there was Law. That ball launched all the way back into the far corner. Trying to move on it is right. Shot! Grabbed by Preeb, and Preeb covers it up. Huge save by Preeb. As Wright trying to get over, and Preeb just grabbing it and rolling on it. As Chansa, that's our goalie out there, Preeb. Sends it down, knocked down towards the defensive third for Ann Arbor. Controlled. Fired ahead by Law. Ball on the far touchline. Now all the way over. Gathering it up is Shannon. Shannon over midfield for Macomb. Shannon trying to move it ahead. That chipped coming down the near wing. Launched and grabbed by Preeb. Preeb saw it all the way. Got on it. Lots of pressure by Macomb. Preeb up to the challenge. 2-1, 1 goal lead by Ann Arbor as we should be. That is it, and that is the 3 whistles. Ann Arbor wins the first game as the AFC Ann Arbor women take the first game 2-1. Again, remember, tomorrow the men will have their season opener versus Lansing City. That will be 7 o'clock at Saline High School. So make sure we'll be at Saline High School tomorrow. I want to thank my camera people, Christina Wiseman, James Wiseman, our director, Mike Butler. And it is 2-1 AFC Ann Arbor with the big win. We'll be back with action tomorrow. Thank you for watching and cheering for whichever team you were and supporting all these wonderful athletes. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. I'll see you tomorrow, 7 o'clock at Saline.